Hey everyone! Living light, loving life here.
Yeah, I'm Austin.
I'm Tara.
Yeah, and today,
happy Wednesday.
Yeah, happy Wednesday. In today's video, we have been getting tons of inquiries about our bench. And we thought we'd just put together a short little video of explaining how we did it and what it looks like. Unfortunately, when we did this a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Closer to 2.5 years
ago.
Yeah,
something like that. We weren't
so it's lasted. It's held up.
Yeah, we really weren't doing YouTube videos a whole lot then. So we didn't record actually building it, but I think I can walk you guys through enough to get you started.
Yes, and I do have some footage on my phone that I had taken.
Yeah.
So we'll do some overlays of that while Austin's explaining how he did this build.
That's right.
And all of the different things that it provides us. Storage, extra seating when we have company. The kids sit there with their TV trays to do all their school.
So it's very multifunctional.
Yes, it has.
And it looks great. So.
Yeah, and we'll show you, we can also do an overlay of a picture of what it looked like before we did this. The original, it was a sofa and 2 little side tables.
Yeah, so it's been a couple different things, but that's how it started.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it.
Stay tuned and let's check it out.
All right, so we're gonna start with the outside of the bench and kind of the concept and how it became what it is. So we had an idea, like we said before, this came with a couch and 2 side tables. And we then we immediately took that out when we bought the RV, and we put like a little table in and just trying to make it more multifunctional for us. And so after a while, we got to a point where we needed more storage for whatever it might be. And so we got the idea of turning this into a sittable bench with storage. So that's how this whole thing came about. So how we started this thing is you measure from your end to end, which ours is 8 foot. And then we have a slide here, so we knew we couldn't come past this slide. So I believe it's 2 foot 8 inches to the end of where the wood ends. And so how I started is I just kind of sketched out. I knew I wanted a U shape because I thought it looked cool, and yeah, that's why I did that. So some people have been just cutting it off and just doing one big bench, which is a cool option too, maybe a little easier. But how we started it is I built the frame first. So I just measured it out and built the top frame and the bottom frame first. Is all you're going to need to do there is cut 2 identical pieces to make that exact. And then brought it inside and put the ground on. It is screwed into the ground. I believe I used 3-inch wood screws for the ground, and it is tapped into the wall, which can be kind of scary in an RV. I understand that. But it did work, and it is secure. It's not going anywhere. And by the way, if you hear the kids, they're always around, so we'll get through it.
Sorry, y'all.
But you'll hear them.
That's us. Just roll with it.
Yeah. So, so that's how it started. So, if you look in here, you can kind of see the frame a little bit better. So, I just built this top frame and matched it to the bottom, and then each one of these connecting joints are just 16 inches. So the height that we wanted was around 22 total inches. It's just kind of a perfect height for us and for our kids to sit on. So we've actually made this 21 inches to the top of the wood, and then the pine tops that we used are 3/4, so it makes it about 21 3/4 inch high. So that's kind of the gist of the mold of how this thing was built. And then we knew we wanted some tops on it. What we did on the tops is these are all pine, right? So they come in 16-inch boards with the kind that we got. We actually got the it's the like fancy pine. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's made for like shelves and things like that.
It's got the pretty.
Yeah, it kind of, yeah.
You know.
It's just a little nicer of wood, and it's very light. The reason we did it, it's very sturdy. That's what basically everything that we've ever done is made out of, is that pine. And so what we did here is, because those are 3-inch, it's a 3-inch frame going all the way around, I needed about 1 inch to 1.5 inches to put the hinges on. So if you see here.
So see, like this is where the 3-inch frame that he's talking about. Right here.
And so that way this piece, the pine piece, sits on top of that 3-inch as much as the hinge piece does. So that way when you're sitting on it,
It's sturdy.
It's sturdy, and you're not putting less of the board on top of there, so that way you might sink in.
Yeah.
So you want it to be pretty even. So if you go with like a 2x2 instead of a 3-inch, then you would have to back that off and get smaller hinges that are a little bit thinner, because you don't want this top piece to not be on top of that back piece.
Right, for that extra support.
Correct.
Whenever someone's sitting on it.
Yeah, because that could slip through. I mean, at that point, is all you're doing is pretty much holding it up by the hinges.
Absolutely.
So that's really how we did it.
Constructed it, and then just to cover the front, we just found this beadboard.
Yep, the beadboard, and it so back, like we said, this had side tables, so all your cords and everything.
Oh yeah.
We're down here, and we just took
These were built-in side tables.
Yeah, and we just took some spray foam and filled that hole that was there. We probably just need to chop that off a little bit. And then your plug, I just cut a hole for the plug to go on the front, and then just kind of
now
bolted those up.
The plug goes right there, so we didn't lose any of our electrical outlets.
Yep. And then like she said, the beadboard on the front.
Yeah.
And then we got these trim pieces. You know, some people would probably caulk that because there is going to be a seam there. We just got trim pieces like here. And
yeah, you can kind of play with it or do whatever you want. You can add those pieces.
But we thought that looked really nice instead of kind of caulking it. You can do it however you want, but I think that looks really nice.
And like we said, it's held up very nicely. This is 2 years old, so of course there's probably some touch-ups that we can do.
Yeah, some scuffs and stuff on the kids and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you can see, I mean, for as much work as we do with this, like there's a couple of little scuffs, but I can probably just resand that, put one more coat of sealer, and it'll look brand new again.
Yeah, so that's really the gist of what we did. You know, the top and the bottom of the frame is the exact same, so you're cutting 2 of everything, and then all you're doing is making your connect pieces the same height.
I'm pretty sure Austin built this in a day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really not that hard. And you know, if you don't have a table saw or a skill saw or whatever, if you have your dimensions exact and you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, they'll cut it all for you right there. You just come home and screw it together. So that is an option to get maybe straighter cuts if you don't have a table saw. But that's a good option to do. But it just provides. It looks good. It gave us more space in the middle by doing the U, and allowed us to have side space at the same time. So it just gave us more space and functionality. The kids are able to get trays out, and we put trays down. They'll sit and eat on this and watch TV or whatever.
I'll show you.
But yeah, so that's the gist of that. There's really not a whole lot to it, but that's kind of it on that piece.
Yeah. So now for my part, organization. So also, I like to work with stuff that we already had. Some of these bins we've already had. Some of them I had to pick up at Walmart or whatever. But I could probably figure out another way to organize, but this is what's working for us right now, and it's working great. So come with me a little bit closer and let me show you what all I'm able to store down here. So literally it's that easy. I've got all the kids' stuff for school. This is also where we keep our dog food. So it's super easy when we need to get to that and fill up their dog food. This little bin here has all of their Play-Doh and stuff to play with Play-Doh. And then from here on is all school and arts and crafts. And guys, no matter what you do, when you live tiny, there's no getting around it. You have to pull stuff out to get to other stuff. There's just no way, or at least I haven't found any organization tips when living tiny that you don't have to do that. But look how simple this is. So if I want to get some, say my paint bin, I just pull this out real quick, grab my paint bin, put that back in, and then we've got all of our stuff.
And these bins actually, so that distance that I was talking about, between here and here, right? Because if you go smaller boards that we did, then you can actually make that space a little bit bigger. But those things are from Walmart, and they're the exact same.
Oh yeah.
The exact same depth that we needed to fit those perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. Just do your measuring, see what works for you. Walmart, the Container Store, Target, any of those places are gonna have containers that work for you. I found these little guys that have some of our arts and crafts and pom-poms, and I'm able just to kind of store those down in there. This, I used these little things to hold kind of all of our construction paper in place and some of the kids' schoolwork and bins. So, you know, just play with it, play around with it. Like I said, I may do some different things eventually with it, but this is what works for us right now, and it is so easy. I can even tell the kids, hey, go get your pom-poms, and they know exactly what to do. Someone just fell in there. But now this side, obviously you can see I have my plants and our air purifier, and then our home internet. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. $50 a month for truly unlimited. So please go check that video out. Oh my gosh, what is going on in there? Anyways, so under this side is stuff that I don't have to get to very often. I'm a hairstylist, or was. Now I'm a stay-at-home mom and we travel full-time. But I keep all of my hair stuff under here. So if I needed to get to them, I pull a couple things off.
And we don't get in there very often.
No, but I've got 2 bins that fit nicely in here, and then I've got all my developers. So that's just where I keep some of that hair stuff that we don't need to get to very often, because I like to have this side as kind of my plant cubby. That's what's in that side. As you saw before in this side, it has a couple of our backpacks that hold all of our filming, things like that. Some stuff that Austin keeps for work. But it's that simple. We are able to have this much storage. It works for us. If you have any questions about it, if you're thinking about doing something like this, we can send you dimensions. We can send you, you can just to talk through it with us. If you have any questions, need any advice on it, let us know. We're here, we're open books, and we're happy to help.